No onions on that chicken sandwich, and where's my salad?
Hey.
Thank you. Hey.
Can you cover for me for a second?
Sure. But what are you up to? It's probably best that I don't know.
Oh, nothing but the best for Henry.
Building material?
Hey, Henry, how are ya? Got something for ya.
Oh, this is good. It's nice. Good building material.
How's the ARC project coming?
The rain is coming. Rain is coming. I need more supplies.
Well, there's my contribution to the cause. Don't forget to eat the food that's in the box. Thanks, Henry.
Rain is coming.
Don't forget to eat the food in the box.
Rain is coming.
Hey, how's Henry?
He still cares.
That's actually really sweet. It's your birthday. Why are you the one out giving presents?
I know.
Table 3 is ready.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
What's wrong? Who's that?
My dad. He calls every year on my birthday, as if he cares.
Excuse me. Could you get my waitress, please? I need my check.
Sure, I'll get it for you. Just a minute. Welcome to Paradise Grill. Sit anywhere you like.
So this is what paradise looks like, huh?
Well, what's the matter, honey? You don't like what you see?
Oh, no. I do. It's, I don't know. It's better than the real thing.
Well, come on in. Have a seat. What can I get for you?
I'm looking for someone. A young woman.
Really? And you haven't even heard today's specials.
I'm tired of this. Can't do this anymore.
Robin, what are you doing in there? Girl, you got a customer out here about to have a heart attack. He wants his check. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be there in a minute.
Hello? Can somebody please come give me my check? Look, I'm gonna walk out the door unless some...
John? Why don't you let me take care of this? I know you gotta go.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
I know you gotta go. So? Let me get it. This one's on me.
Okay. You sure now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I gotta be somewhere and I don't want to...
And John, relax, man. All right? It's all good. The results, the appointment. No need to worry.
I gotta go.
Well, I think. One down, one to go.
Excuse me, do you know what happened to the man who was sitting here?
Yeah, he left. But don't worry. Told him I'll cover his bill.
Really? Well, that was nice of you.
Yeah, it's not a big thing, really. It's what I do. I mean, it's really nothing.
Well, thank you. What can I get you?
Actually, Sarah? Sarah already took my order. But I was hoping you would sit down for a moment.
Well, I'm working, and as you can see, I'm a little bit behind, so...
Right, well, I will take care of this. So we're free now, right? Please.
I'm sorry, what was your name? I don't think I caught it.
Ah, I see you found what you're looking for.
I did. Yes, thank you, Sarah.
Oh, we're on first name basis now. You okay, Robin? Is this guy bothering you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll just be a minute. Thanks for covering for me earlier.
Sure.
Sarah, I've got something for you. The next one will treat you better.
What are you talking about? Are you a psychic or something?
No. I'm much better than that.
Oh, okay, Robin. Let's see how good this guy really is.
You have a scar on your knee from falling off your bike at age 10. You still blame yourself for what happened to your dad, but it wasn't your fault. It was an accident. And your ex used to... Well, that wasn't your fault either. All I'm saying is, things are going to get better for you. You deserve better. And you've been hurt.
Sir, are you okay?
Okay. He's good. Very good.
Wow, you always such a hit with the ladies?
Seriously, I'm only here to help. I just wanted to encourage her. And you.
You're here to help and encourage.
That's right.
So who are you again?
This isn't about me. Please. Humor me. Just sit for a second.
Okay, let's see what you got for me.
Good. Just close your eyes. And remember, you can get up and leave at any time that you want.
Whoa, what was that? I just saw the house that I grew up in.
You need to keep going. There's more you need to see.
Okay. Wait. I don't think I can do this. I'm not sure I'm ready to go in.
Yes, you can. That's why I'm here. Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna let anyone hurt you. Open the door, Robin. It's time to let go of your past.
How could you? How could you? Shame on you. I hate you. I hate you.
You have good reasons to be angry.
I have every right to be mad. There's no way to treat your daughter.
You've been angry for too long. It's only hurting you now. It's time to let it go.
Look at him. I almost feel sorry for him. He looks pitiful.
He's a broken man. Come.
This is too painful.
This is your moment. Go to her. She's been waiting for you. She's been waiting for you to help her release this weight.
You don't deserve this, babe. I'm sorry this happened to you. And it's not your fault.
Are you okay? You did really, really well back there. Do you have the time? You did well. You're going to do even better from here on out.
All of my days in shadows, watching others walk in the sun. Invisible chains restraining me from trusting anyone. And the hurt inside was comfort to me at times, the best of friends. But I knew in my heart this poison would kill me in the end. Yeah, I think I'm ready to let things go. Yeah, maybe it's scary, but I wanna know how to free myself from the shame, to move on with no one else to blame. I've been doing time for somebody else's, for somebody else's crime. I never had the courage.
Sometimes we have areas in our lives that can prevent us from really hearing God and having the Spirit of God flow through us, that can even block activity of His kingdom working in us. And the story that you heard me share tonight, the thing that was so powerful about that story is I had no idea that my experience in the church had totally prejudiced me and God working in certain areas in people's lives. I was totally oblivious to the fact that I had built walls and that I had built prejudices that were blocking God's kingdom coming, how He wanted to use me. If you saw the movie Father of Lights, you saw how that God came and moved very powerfully and touched people in a really profound way that the Lord had given me in this dream. That would have never happened had I not been in the place of really recognizing that some things inside of me really needed to change. So tonight, I want to make sure that you understand, be vulnerable to the Holy Spirit, opening us up, changing our thinking, changing our patterns of how we express and what we feel. So many times I've learned that there are things in Christian culture that we believe are godly, but they're not even necessarily biblical. It's just the culture that we've adapted ourselves to. Open up your mind and ask the Holy Spirit to give clarity to those areas. There may be also areas that are blocking and hindering and obstructing ways that God wants to use you. Ask the Holy Spirit to put His finger on those, because we want to be able to yield those, surrender those, and to see the Lord use us in very powerful ways. It's such an exciting journey when we just know there's a clear path for the Holy Spirit to move through us and work through us. So I'd like to pray for you right now. Father, we just thank you for the areas that you're breaking into our lives, that your kingdom is breaking in, that you're transforming us, ways that we could never imagine would be shifted and stirred and turned. Father, I thank you that you are renewing our minds, that you're touching our feelings and hurt areas that may have been blocked off in our lives. Lord, you're opening us up, and you are ready to use us in powerful ways. Lord, I pray that we would be open to the ways that your Spirit want to move through us this week, and that we would be very aware of all the things that you're wanting to do. I pray that we would be able to yield any hurts or any obstructions, anything that would be blocking, or anything that we think is the way people have to look or have to be. Lord, we yield those to you, and we thank you for giving us a renewed understanding of who you are, that you are a powerful, almighty, redemptive, and transforming God, and that you want to do the work in people's lives, but you give us the great privilege of participating in that. Thank you, Father, for that in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, guys, this is our second to the last week, and it has been such an incredible journey. And what I'd really like for you to do this week is to really process what are some of the things that are hard for me to do. You know, for the longest time, giving prophetic words was such an easy thing for me. It's something I didn't even really have to think about. I could do just about any time. I could step into just about in any form with any person. And the Lord began to deal with me. Robbie, I want to use you to do healing. I want to use you to do that. And you have great faith for me to speak through you, but you don't have great faith for me to bring healing to people. So I began to pray and say, all right, Lord, I'm going to step out and I'm going to pray for more people for healing. And then after the healing began to start, the Lord spoke to me and said, Robbie, you're always backing away from deliverance. You're turning it over to other people to do. And I want to raise you up in that area. And so I began to trust the Lord in that, and I began to step out in that. And then he began to point out to me that I wasn't so sure that the Spirit was going to move on people where they would feel the tangible presence of God, what we refer to as the manifest presence of God. And so the Lord began to challenge me. I want you to do that. I want you to pray for the Spirit to come. I want you to give room for people to feel and to encounter my presence. In all four of these areas, I had to grow and develop. And I want to encourage you to stop and think this week, what's an area that I feel comfortable with, that I feel more encouraged by, that I'm seeing some success in, and then what area maybe am I weak in? And maybe spend some time doing that area more rather than backing away from it. I had a friend of mine one time who had a really weak eye. And he told me, he goes, you know, Robbie, I went to the doctor today and he told me the strangest thing. He told me that the way that you strengthen the weak eye is cover up the good eye. And the only way that he could have that eye become strong was when his good eye was covered up. And so what I want you to do is I want you to stop and focus on the weak area, put a little more attention to that, and watch the Lord strengthen you in that area as you give it time, as you give it attention. So I want to encourage you, this week, let's go big. We've maybe pushed the line a little bit, we've stretched some, but let's go big. I want to encourage you to take bigger risks. I want to encourage you to take bigger steps. I want to encourage you to push yourself beyond. Maybe you've been praying for headaches, maybe you've been praying for elbow aches or shoulder aches. I want you to go look for people in wheelchairs, look for people that are struggling with crutches, look for things that may be big. Somebody may say they have a cancer diagnosis. That is your opportunity. Let's push ourselves beyond our comfort zone and let's go for the extreme of who God is.